Hello everyone, I am the MoeChicken. Welcome to my stream. Tonight we are going to be starting a new series. I've been trying to think about something that we could start, and I've got an idea. This is an idea for something that will probably be played over a long period of time and with breaks in between, just because the game itself is so very long. The game we're going to be playing is Romancing SaGa 3 for the SNES. Well, let's just go ahead and get into it. So switch over. I'll talk as we go. There we go. Romancing SaGa 3 is sort of what was unexpectedly what has unexpectedly become one of my favorite Super Nintendo RPGs. And let's go ahead and watch the opening. So there is the sun. Always good to stare straight at the sun as soon as you start a video game. There it is. Death Eclipse. Every 300 years, the star of death blocks the sun and all newborn lives die. None of the people, animals, plants, or even monsters can escape from this fate. This song is really cool, by the way. I love this song. The Death Eclipse. Ooh. Oh, hello. How are you? But one day a baby survived. Escaping death's attraction, this child grew up, became the Devil King, and ruled the world. Also, the Devil King opened the Abyss Gate and released the Devil Lords within, until one day, he suddenly vanished. Also, this person. He's got big honkin' feet. After that, the world was ruled by the 4 demon lords. 300 years later, the Death Eclipse hit the world again. One baby survived. This child grew up to become the Holy King. Supported by many friends, he drove back the 4 demon lords back to the Abyss, and the Abyss Gate was closed. After another 300 years, the Death Eclipse hit the world again around 10 years ago. The whole world is watching closely for the new child of destiny, feeling both eager and uneasy. Will it be a Devil King or a Holy King? And now we get like a kind of a neat intro. That kind of explains the general background of this game. There was this event called the Death Eclipse, which happens every 300 years. And first, one time, a baby survived and became a demon. The next time, baby survived and became a hero. And then this time, we don't know. Someone survived, we know that much, but we don't know what they're going to be. And so the entire game is kind of about this sort of expectant struggle between good and evil, and you don't really know. There's like a wild card element, because it's worth mentioning that the protagonist is not the sort of child of destiny. You have to find the child of destiny. The child of destiny is out there somewhere, but you don't know if they're good or bad. You don't really know who they are. You just know that somewhere out there is a child of destiny, and it's in the meantime you got to try and save the world. So if you don't know much about the SaGa series, it's had kind of a renaissance recently. Square Enix has been way into releasing a lot of their older games, and just recently they released the SaGa Collection, which has the first 3 games, which were all for Game Boy. This is the 3rd game that was released on the SNES, and I kind of feel like it's the best one of the ones on the SNES. I haven't played all the way through RS2 because I just didn't like the game mechanic very much. RS2 is kind of this weird like permadeath mechanic that I wasn't into. And so I thought, why not show off this one? So this is that what they were just showing us is one of the things I don't really like about this game, but we'll get to that, I suppose. We'll get to all of this. So and then there's this cool looking castle. Also, the graphics are great. Game came out, I think, in 96. So Square knew how to make SNES graphics by that point. Romancing SaGa 3. Ooh. Oh, 95. Okay. Let's start a new game. Here we go. All right. So from the start, you get to choose your protagonist of 8 characters. So there are 4 men and 4 women. Each one has kind of like a different setting, and like different age. Like you can see Julian's the youngest, Harid's the oldest of the boys, Katrina's the oldest of the girls, and Sarah's the youngest. They all have different stories, different abilities, stuff like that. With that in mind, I'm going to roll a dice to see who we choose. Hang on. I have an 8-sided dice right here, and it is going to decide our destiny. Let's see. So, get it out. Come on, 8-sided dice. What is going on? Open thing. There we go. Where's my 8-sided? Here we go. All right, so let us see who we will be. So, it's just in order. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. We're playing as Katrina. Okay, we got an 8. I have never played as Katrina, so that's pretty cool. Katrina is a 24-year-old noble, and she's very excited to be picked. Look at her go! Yeah, her name's Katrina. Oh, I get to choose her last name. Katrina... there are very few letters? Oh, wait, no. Hang on, let me do that again. Z... Zal... Katrina... Zale. No, can I just not have a last name? Fudge. I'm doing it wrong. Go back. Stop. Back. B button back. Oh, I did it all wrong. Oh, jeez. Okay, there we go. You're just Katrina. I'm not giving you a further thing. Okay, so you also choose this. You can choose like a class that represents where you came from, and it will impact your abilities. I'm gonna say, despite her appearance, she's actually a huntress. And for reasons I will get into later, she's going to specialize in an épée. So, how's that look? So I have 5 and... So, explain a little bit of what we're looking at here. I know it's a lot of information up front. Don't worry, it'll cool off after a bit. You can see my stats on the right there. You've got weapon levels for the type of weapon. You've got technical abilities, which allow you to use weapon techniques, and magic, which allows you to use magic. So you've got like TP and MP in this game, and then standard stats and stuff like that. Oh, one other thing I should mention. So you see HP is 130, LP is 10 of 10. LP is something unique to this game, I think. It may have been in Saga Frontier as well, but I think it's unique to this one. And it's sort of like the strength of your soul. So whenever your character dies or like runs out of HP and then collapses, they lose 1 LP. If their LP ever goes down to 0, they die. They're actually done. They're gone. If your protagonist does that, you lose the game, I think. I'm pretty sure you just game over straight up. Now, unlike Romancing SaGa 2, because now that I think about it, yeah, this was introduced in Romancing SaGa 2. In RS2, there was no way to restore it. In this game, you can restore it, and that's one of the things I like about this one over RS2. All right, let's go ahead and get going. So I am playing as Katrina the Noble. Bad weather. I wonder if Brother's okay. Oh, who are you? Nice hair. It's very complicated looking. Voice from the throne room. Who could it be? Let's do it tonight. Oh, they're meeting for a tryst. Yes, but there won't be a second chance. I tell you what, let's do it in the throne room. It's gonna be great. Mikhail only brings a small army. Once we secure here, he won't be able to fight back. Okay. Then I'll replace Mikhail and become the Marquis. This throne suits me. Don't forget about me, Baron Godwin. I'm gonna come over there and do it with you. No, I should call you Marquis Godwin. Let's capture Monica as well. Just want to buy some insurance. Is she an insurance saleswoman? I see. That's our trump card. Oh no. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. It's hard to run in a dress. So that's Monica. She's in trouble. So she's running. Well, walking rapidly. Katrina, it's awful. Monica, what's wrong? It's Baron Godwin and the minister. They're betraying Mikhail. Then I must go to Mikhail's place and let him know. But wait, I'll go myself. I know it's dangerous, but then I can notify my brother and avoid being captured. You stay here and make sure no one notice that I'm gone. Hold as long as you can. I see. So there's like a thing to this, and I can't remember exactly how it works. Oh, yeah, I actually really like her little outfit. It's cute. I like her little, like, adventuring outfit. Katrina, when my brother returns, everything will be fine. Be careful, Monica. Please arrive at Mikhail's camp safely. Ooh. Magic mirror. It's an elevator, I guess. Monica. That was horses. I think there was a horse running away. First, I must find a replacement of Monica. So I think there's like a thing where you... What is it, Katrina? Wear this and sleep in this bed. What? This is Monica's bed. Such impolite things. It's okay, just hurry up. Oh, good thing you look identical to her. Don't make any noise. Yes? Alright, so next I think I'm supposed to, what am I supposed to do next? There are like all these things you're supposed to do. If I get caught, they will take my belongings. I should hide them now. I can hide something here. Yeah, hide it. So, what did I just do? Minister, can I help you? What's wrong with Monica? She looks tired today and she's already asleep. Really? Have a nice sleep till tomorrow then. I'm off to do a man. Alright, so that's one. Oh, I don't know all the things I'm supposed to do. There's a whole collection of things you're supposed to do. I can't remember what they are. So another oddity about this game, select is the menu button. You don't see that too often. Okay, so okay, good. I did hide my stuff. Good. There's like a bunch of things you're supposed to do. Hello? I wish I knew what they all were. I don't know what they all are. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I think I did try to play as Katrina once and just stopped because I messed up the beginning part. So I'm not 100% sure on what else I'm supposed to do. Let's see. It's locked. What about you? Let's work hard. It's locked. Okay, so maybe I'm supposed to follow Minister now? Maybe? I wish I knew. I should have looked it up beforehand, but I didn't. Oh well. So we've done the thing with the... Well, what now? I'll work a bit more. Yeah, there might be more stuff I can do. Minister, can I help you? What's wrong with Monica? She looks tired today and is already asleep. Really? Have a nice sleep till tomorrow then. Off I go! Round 2! Alright, what else can I do? Because, you know, the point, like, the idea here is that Katrina's kind of like Monica's friend and confidant kind of thing. I don't think she's supposed to be like her nanny or anything like that. She's just like an older woman who's a friend of hers. And so we're just trying to make sure she's safe. Let's see let's work hard. Is there something else I can do? I swear there's more I can do, but I don't remember what it is. That's the problem. Let's see. So this is the throne room. So I come in here. Kyle's throne. Lots of fears. I don't know what that means. He stores all his fears in his chair. Oh, no. What's this? Hello. Let's work hard. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I can run, right? Yeah. What else can I do? What else can I do to protect Monica? What's this guy? Hello. Let's work hard. Yep. Maybe I can go down to the basement and do something? Like, I think that there's some special sword that you can get that's important. Oh, here we go. Jail key. Yeah, that's what it is. I had to get the jail key. Yes. Okay, cool. That's important. Talk to this guy. Let's work hard. Because I'm going to get thrown in jail. And this way I can get myself back out of jail, if I remember correctly. So that is good. So I've got the jail key. I think that's it. I've hidden my items. I've got the jail key. Let's just continue to explore. It's locked. Okay, so that's everywhere I can go right now, I think. So I'm fairly certain I can't just leave the building, right? Can I leave? Yeah, I can't leave. Okay, so I think that's all I can do. So now we will go upstairs and retire for the evening, so to speak. It's kind of neat. Like, there's a lot of things about this game that are unusual for the time, I think. And this game, I think, was sort of like, well, let's hang on. Okay. Well, what now? Just wait. Okay, so now we wait. Yes, can I help you? What? You guys?
Be quiet, Katrina. As for Monica, we are taking her away.
How rude! If Mikhail knows about this, you won't be forgiven.
Mikhail, from now on, Godwin will be the lord of this castle. If you disobey him, you will lose your life.
I see. But you seem to underestimate me. What can you do to me with only 4 persons? Meet thy fate!
How about Monica, Katrina?
Shit. She actually just said shit. Swear that you won't touch a finger of You won't touch a finger of Monica. Don't you touch her hands, or I swear I will bump you like you wouldn't believe. You'll just be like,
You bumped me.
I will surrender.
Okay. But we must guard this room so that she won't escape. Remove Katrina's weapons.
Where are you touching?
Sorry. Bring her to jail.
All right, so now I have the key. So I can escape. I have to wait. Okay, I have to wait. Why do I have to wait?
Katrina, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Has Mikhail returned?
Yes, he defeated the monsters summoned by Godwin at Lowen Plain. Then he also defeated the main troops led by Godwin. Enemies within the city are all arrested.
Monica, is she all right?
Of course.
Oh, great. And how about Godwin and the minister? They're arrested?
They are really quick in escaping.
Too bad. Anyway, let's go see Mikhail. Oh, so to explain a little bit, you get a little bit of a one-sided perspective when you view either Monica, Mikhail, or Katrina's stories, whereas the other 5 down there are all like together for the rest of the story. So to explain a bit, with Mikhail's story, he's actually leading a fight on the front and gets called back to defend his castle. With Monica, she escapes to tell all the others and basically becomes sort of protected by them. And the other 5 are basically acting as mercenaries to protect her.
Thanks to all of you, we were able to overcome the crisis. In particular, Harid, Thomas, Julian, Ellen, Sarah. Though you were not my vassals, you have done a good job.
Thank you, Harid.
I do this for money, so you don't need to thank me.
Thank you, Thomas.
That's far more than I deserve.
Thank you, John. I think this was the right thing to do. My dad always... nothing. Thank you, Ellen. I really enjoyed the journey with Monica. Thank you, Sari. No. Thanks, Katrina. Monica's courage has crushed the ambition of Godwin.
Let's present the full reward. Of course.
Hareed? So Hareed is a mercenary, so he's concerned with getting paid. He wants to get paid. Several days later. At last, it's quieted down. Who is it? Oh, Mikhail.
Good work, Katrina.
It's nothing.
Oh, no. He's like, now our faces will touch. I was worried about you. Are these two in a relationship? I didn't remember that.
I didn't even do well as the bodyguard of Monica. You were too kind to have worried about me.
I don't mean that. I'm worried about you as a single woman.
Mikhail, I'm so happy. Thanks for bringing up that I don't have a boyfriend. So, did I do good? What are we doing now? We're just walked around.
Katrina, you got the masquerade?
Yes, here.
Masquerade, a remnant of the Holy King succeeded by the Loan family. This is what I wish for.
What are you talking about?
You finally noticed. Oh no, he's like an assassin or something. It appears you didn't see through my disguise, Katrina.
Oh, it's this guy.
The masquerade is mine, farewell.
Wait! Oh, fudge! So, nuts. That happens either way, huh? Katrina, what happened to your hair? Monica, I thought I wanted a new look. Mikhail, I have no excuse. The masquerade was taken from me. I should pay this with my life. But please, please give me a chance to get back the masquerade.
That hair shows your determination. That's quite the color. All right, you can take care of your misconduct with your own hands. However, until you get the masquerade back, you cannot return to Loan.
That's too harsh, brother. Thank you for accepting my request. I'll get back the masquerade for certain.
Katrina, I want to ask you one thing. If they can take the masquerade from you with just one person, what if they send a whole army?
That's because I really have no excuse.
So keep this question in mind. You can go, Katrina.
All right, so we are now out on our own. So the idea here is like that little sequence was a little bit different, where there was the thing where the guy like takes the masquerade. In my original playthrough, I didn't know to hide my equipment, and so when they took my equipment, they just took the masquerade. So that happened. So yeah, our objective, our general objective as Katrina is to find the masquerade sword, which is somewhere in the world. And if you've never played a SaGa game, this is how it works. You were given basically no direction. What you saw was all of the character-specific plot, pretty much. And now we just have to find things to do. So let's start by going to Mules. Let's see what we can find. Oh yeah, actually, come to think of it, no, not that. What do I have? Equipped. What do I have? I have a rapier. Useful. Okay. I have salve. I have a leather breastplate, a silk shirt, and leather boots. I wonder if that's what I had in my inventory that I hid. I'm not really sure. So we need friends. We got to find people.
From the harbor, you can take a ship to either Zweig and Pedona.
So Pedona is kind of like the center of the world, if I remember correctly. But let's just look around. Oh, so this guy here, these guys are always these guys teach you magic. So there are 6 types of magic in this game. Water, earth, wind, and fire, and then sun and moon. Or apparently it was supposed to be based on the four sacred beasts: Genbu, Seiryu, Tsuzuku, and Byakko. But they just simplified it to 4 elements in this one. That said, magic is really weird in this game. It's very, very strange. Like it's not like a Final Fantasy game where they're like elements that everybody gets, all kinds of spells. you basically choose one element for each character and just stick with it. And so, do I want her? It's very important to get someone who has water right off the bat, because water is the only one early on that has any sort of healing magic. But I feel like wind actually matches her pretty well. Yeah. Why don't you learn a spell? Let's see. So you can see the spell abilities are also kind of weird. So it's like sleep is the basic spell for wind magic, and then like a physical defense, and then a stun move, HP drain, and a tornado attack. It's weird, right? It's a very strange magic system. Yeah, I'm gonna get her started, because one nice thing is that you always, whenever you get any element, you get one spell for free. So I have I gotta get used to the fact that X is not the menu. So I also get Wind Dart, which is like a 1 MP spell. You also don't get to start learning or gaining MP until you've got at least one spell. So it's also beneficial to just go ahead and get one. You can see there I've got 0 out of 5, which means I need to sleep. The one thing about this game, I'm talking a lot, I know, but inns are cheap. You pay 1 gold for each person in your party for a night. So it's never a problem to sleep. I don't think I've ever had a situation where I didn't have enough money to take a nap. So that'll get me back to fighting fit. Right, X is the leave town button, because it's weird. All right, what else can I do? Oh, this is also the pub. Let me see if anybody's in the pub that I can hire. Where's the pub? Is it downstairs, maybe? Where's the pub? Public house? Well, it said pub on the outside. Where's the pub? Maybe this is the pub? Are you the pub? Oh, I just went into the pub. What am I talking about? This is the pub. Right, sorry. Hello, sir. Do you have any info? A suspicious man holding a fine blade has boarded a ship to Pedona. Aha! And so our first clue, we need to go to Pedona. Let us go. Let us go to Pedona. Oh, now you see her over there? She's a problem. She's a problem. Because as soon as she sees you, she will run at you. And if she touches you, she will force her way into your party. And I don't want her in my party. She also won't leave unless you do like very specific things. Because like she's got a whole quest you're supposed to do, but she's just kind of annoying and I don't want her around. Let's see, what else can I do? It might be worth it for me to have a backup weapon. A longbow might be nice. Longbow, yeah, and a light shield, I think. Yeah. So you can carry multiple weapons in this game, and you can specialize in multiple weapons if you want to, but it's usually best to just kind of keep it to like 1 or 2. For Katrina here, I'm going to give her a longbow, but that's kind of for the moment. Later on, I'll probably change that up as I get more characters. Let's go ahead and get started on the way to Pedona, so we can find somebody to join us. Hopefully I can find Ellen, because I really like Ellen. Ellen is my favorite character. She's also the first character I beat the game with, so. Ride? To Pedona. So, one thing that can be challenging about this game early on is its very loose nature of progression. It's very hard to figure out what you're supposed to do, because a lot of it involves just going places. Also, several events happen based on your HP, but the game doesn't tell you that. So when you hit certain HP amounts, you can go to different places. One thing that makes it easier is to, anytime you're in a port, just ride everywhere. Just go to every place you can go to, because that will open up more towns, and that's the only way you can open up towns. And the only way you can open up new areas is by being either going there on a ship or having someone in town tell you about it. The mansion on the right palace, on the right of the palace, the mansion on right of palace belongs to the people from the Claudius family. Okay. There's a spooky man over there. So that's cool. Is this the Claudius family? Are you the Claudius family? As the divine church of Libroth was overthrown, many people in Naj Kingdom moved into Libroth. Okay.
Just before the death eclipse occurred, some astronomers had already predicted it. But they were charged with the crime of misleading the people and were burned to death. Seems like their family has moved to Lance.
That's also very important, because we need to know as much as we can about the death eclipse. How about a song? Sing me an old song. Various articles related to the kings. 7-star. This is a song? 7-star sword, ice sword, staff of glory, holy king's spear, fairy bow, holy king's helmet, silver hand, holy king's boot, royal ring, devil king's axe, devil king's shield, devil king's armor. As I see you, my desire to make new songs stirs up. Let me travel with you. Oh, okay, he's joined me. Well, I got a buddy now. I pushed X again. No. All right, so that's the poet. The poet's kind of an interesting character. He first showed up in RS1, and I think he was supposed to be like a recurring character. He's just sort of a mystery man who knows more than he lets on. He also will only join you at the beginning of the game, so I might as well have him in my party. Do you have magic? Do you have magic? No, you don't have magic. Okay, well, we got one party member. We have a poet. We have a bard that joined us. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. I've cornered you. Talk to me. You won't talk to me. Okay, spooky man won't talk to me. This alleyway is here just for this one plant. That's where the plant lives. What about you people up here? What are you doing? This is the palace. This is the palace. Okay. We found the palace. Oh, it's her. I think her name is Tatiana. It's freaking Tatiana over there. I don't want to talk to her. It's scary. The Divine Church members in Padona have increased. So the Divine Church is an entity housed over here that preaches like this idea. I think they preach that like a new king will rise or something like that.
Please enter if you are interested in our church.
Okay.
Our church is underground. We store it down there.
Oh, this looks spooky and totally on the level. Who are you? Hello, sir.
The appearance of the Divine King is close. We must prepare ourselves to meet the Divine King. Your effort is needed. Come, devote yourself to the church.
Okay. What else we got going on here? Also, the song you're hearing is Katrina's theme. You should also completely devote yourself to Maximus. That was the guy we just talked to. Each character's theme plays in town. That's another reason I like Ellen, is that she has the most fun theme. It's like really cheerful and fun. I like her theme.
Have you heard the thankful words of Maximus?
Yeah.
Maximus will lead us all to the Divine King.
Okay. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Alright, so we still haven't found much of a clue on terms of where the sword went. We might need to look. I think that there is a blacksmith in town, so they might be able to help us. Someone might have brought the sword to them for some reason. Let us go. There's a blacksmith shop. Let's go check it out. It is mostly empty. Okay. Maybe downstairs? Downstairs, maybe? Oh. Hello. Again, it's no good. Nora! Today the shop is closed. You don't have any good weapons or armors? Sorry, but this is a very nice workshop. It's strange that there are only 2 craftsmen here.
Ugh, it wasn't like this before.
The first master of this workshop and the holy king forged the magic spear Aracas together. It is said to be the best work. After the Holy King closed the abyss gates, the spear became the symbol and decoration of the workshop. Craftsmen from all over the world came here to polish their skills. The last 300 years, this workshop was the #1, capitalized #1 of the world. However, after the war of Ludwig and Clemens, someone stole the Holy Spear in the midst of chaos. The master left for a trip to search for the spear. 1 year later, it was said that the spear had been located and returned to Padona. The master tried to go and recover it. 3 days later, Master's corpse was found at the harbor. After Master's death, the craftsmen left the workshop one by one. And only I and the Master's only daughter, Nora, are left in here. I'll go on a trip to search for Master's enemy and the spear. I'll leave things here to you. You can't go alone. Don't you see what had happened to the Master? Nora! I like Nora. I want Nora in my party. I want Nora. Is the stolen spear the original? Of course. Got any clues? The Master's left 2 things. This red coral earring and the name Jackal. Red coral and Jackal? Anyway, doing this together is better than doing it alone, isn't it? This is true. Nice to meet you. I'm Nora. Alright, we got Nora. Awesome. Okay, so something else worth pointing out. This is a little odd. This game has formations, and the different formations do different things. I think it tells you, doesn't it? I thought it explained what it does. Oh yeah, here we go. So you push Y, and everyone fights freely, so free fight gives you no bonuses. Close delta, attack up triangle forms. So the person in the front, their attack increases. Open delta, defense up triangle form. The 2 front characters, I believe, are better defended. So it's almost never worth it to be in free fight. Unfortunately, the game defaults to free fight. So there is that. It's kind of like in Breath of Fire 3. There's like a default formation that the game defaults to, as you might expect, which is the worst one. It's always more beneficial to be in like a different pattern. So I think for now, I'm just going to do open delta and just keep us defensive. I should save. You can see I played as Monica before. Yes, that one. Okay, cool. All right, so now we have 2 friends. That's good. Oh, it's Tatiana. Run! Don't talk to her. Let's see. What else is going on? Hello, sir.
Maximus, Padona's chief of the Divine Church, has great interests on the Holy King relics for some reason.
Well, he's waiting for the Divine King. I guess that makes sense. No, it's freaking Tatiana. Why is she here? I want to go in that door, though. Can I get past her? When she sees me, she's going to start running. Okay, there we go. It's like dodging the Omega weapon. Oh, hello. What? You are? Oh, Thomas's acquaintance, eh? Thomas is in the first room on the left. All right, get out of my way.
What is this room? This is an apartment complex? Feel at ease.
Okay. First room on the left. Okay. This is Sarah's room. That's Sarah. That's not Thomas. I don't want Sarah in my party for a very specific reason. Sarah is super important at the end of the game. And last time I played the game, I used Sarah, and I was like, oh, well, I've seen that now. I want to see something else, because this game has lots of things going on, so I want to use a different character. Here's Thomas. Hello, Thomas. If I haven't finished my grandfather's work, I can't go. Don't mind me. Please take a look at the city. Okay, well, that's not kind. So, Thomas here is training to be a merchant. He wants to be a merchant, that's why he's living in Padona. Despite the fact that he and Julienne are brothers, and we're both from the frontier. Actually, I think Julius... No, it's her! No! Don't touch me! I think it's like Julius, Ellen, Sarah, and Thomas are all friends from the frontier. and they were all in like a tent together, like a little bar tent, and that's how Monica met up with them. The Devil Palace is west of the city. So the Devil Palace is a relic from the Devil King era, and Pedona was just built nearby. So it's not like the final dungeon or anything like that. It's just like a place. It's actually probably the first dungeon you would normally go to. If Ludwig can become king quickly, it'd be great. Okay. What's in here? Oh, magic. More magic. Okay, hello. Earth, Sun, and Moon. Ooh. Earth is what I usually give, Earth is what I usually give to Nora. It was very good when I did it before. Sun and Moon are also really good. Honestly, the one I have the least experience with is Fire. I'm gonna give you Earth. Okay, you get Earth. Do I want to waste money on the Poet is the question. Oh, wait, Thomas. Thomas, what were you doing, Thomas? Thomas? Thomas, where'd you go? I just saw him walk by. No? I swear, there he goes. What's he doing? Tommy boy, what are you doing? So this game also has like a ton of playable characters, but it's in a good way, unlike Chrono Cross, because you're only ever allowed to have 6. So even though you can change your party if a character doesn't work out, you're kind of incentivized to stick with who you've got. I like that. Oh. Who are you? Katrina, why are you here? I'm sorry, but I followed you here. Don't worry, they're my friends. I'm telling Muse about our adventure in the van. Everyone, come on in. We haven't had so many guests for a long time. What? Oh gosh. Miss Muse, Mitch got lost. Mitch? Mitch got lost. Wait, Mitch is a girl? We couldn't find her anywhere, and Gon went to the Devil King Palace to look for her. Devil Palace. Oh, I have a swoon coming on. Charles. Everyone in this scene has a dumb name. Charles, go chase him back immediately.
Yes.
I'll go also.
Thanks. Mitch, what happened to Gon?
I don't know.
Hurry.
Let's see, did you get... Mitch!
Who is this child? The Devil Palace was a haven for thieves and rogues, but now it has turned into a den of monsters. It's also really cool. It's a really cool looking place.
Mitch, answer me! No more hide and seek game!
Also, currently the members of the Divine Church are searching for the hidden treasures in the palace. That's me with my cool pink cape. Alright, so who do I have in my party now? Oh, I have lots of people. I have an almost full party now. Now something worth mentioning is you can have 6 people in your party, but only 5 can fight at a time. So I kind of think of this as being a full party. And I think Tiger's Cave is the one I like. Proves defense. Yeah, this is the one I think I usually use. Okay, yeah, that works. What does Power Raise do? Middle member's magic up. Okay, I don't have enough magic, so that'll work. I have a rapier. You have a hammer. You have a hammer and a spear. You have a spear and a bow. You have a spear. All right. What does everybody good with? You are good. You have magic. Oh, Charles has magic. He's really good with it, too. Actually, he's got a magic level of 15. It's awesome, dude. And a magic of 45. Wow. Oh, Thomas has magic, too. What is that? What kind of magic do you have? What is this? You have... Oh, he has water magic. Okay. And you have several things. You have fire magic. Okay. So, I was speaking earlier about the idea that they're all, like, based around the 4 sacred monsters, or sacred animals. You can see that the fire symbol down there kind of has wings, because that's based on Seiryu. And the water one has, like, it kind of looks like a turtle, because it's based on Genbu.
And the earth one, you can kind of see underneath it. It looks kind of like a crouching animal. It's supposed to be a tiger. And then the wind is Seiryu, the dragon, which is kind of coiled around. It's just a little thing, little cool thing. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get going. So we are going to look for Gon. Ran in here, and there's a like a tornado going on. I know people like to make fun of that sort of thing when like the sky is moving way too fast for it to be natural, but I always think it looks cool, probably because I grew up with these kind of games. All right, finally get to fight something. All right, so when you're in combat, you can see up there on my up on the upper right, I've got that looks like HP. It's actually WP, weapon power, and it tells you how many the number on your. Again, I know it's a lot of information. Eventually, this will stop. The number on the right is your maximum, or your current, so to speak. The number on the left is how much you use. So just using the basic attack costs 0, and then you have special moves. You can't find out what the special moves do in battle. You can also use special abilities. So he's got Everyone's Song, which is just like a bard ability. Nora has both a hammer and a spear, so she can use either one. And she also now has magic, although I forgot to sleep, so she can't use it. I'm gonna bash this goblin. Use the hunter bow on the ghost fire. Use the long spear on the ghost fire. Ow. I don't know what that did. I have no idea what that did, but I did it. So something else that's kind of unusual about this game is that it has one of those battle systems where you get your HP back at the beginning of every fight. So it may seem like damage is really high, but like even though I took 92 damage, as you can see, I'm fine. My HP is back to 130. So it's more about like you can kind of run closer to the red line in this game and be okay, because you always know you get your HP back. Also, there's another goblin. Oh, what else? What other massive amount of information can I dump on you? I guess something else I should mention is the way that the leveling system works in this game. So all 3 of the Romancing SaGa games, the ones for the SNES, use a stat boost system akin to what you saw in like Final Fantasy II for the NES or Chrono Cross, where after battle there is a chance, based on the actions you took in battle, that you will get some sort of stat benefit. And so every battle is worthwhile because any battle can potentially result in something useful. And so you gotta get this fun thing at the end of battle where you're like, yeah, my wind magic went up, his HP went up, his bow power went up, I got a club, and I got $4. I think it's cool. I know a lot of people get frustrated with those kind of leveling systems because they do feel random and like non-linear. I like it because it's just kind of like a fun thing you get at the end of every battle. You know, it's like, I got a new thing. That's fun. I don't know. I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. So go figure. But it is very worth it to train your magic right from the start. Like you want to get, because the only way you get MP is by using spells. And you start off with very low MP. So especially early on, you're really going to be struggling to get MP boosts. So it's almost worth it to just cast a spell, even one spell, at the beginning of a fight. Just to get that chance, you know? Just to get that chance. Just to get that chance. Because you want MP. You definitely want MP. There's some good spells later on. Awesome. Ba-ba-ba. Yep, that. Now, I should mention that when her wind magic went up, that was not her MP going up. That was her ability to cast wind magic. So her, like, little, what do you call it? She's like level 2 in her Seiryu now, down there on the lower right. So, and I'm almost done talking about the mechanics of the game. I know it's been a lot, and I apologize for that. I am very excited to play this game, though. I was trying to figure out something I could do after we finished up Final Fantasy V, and I was like, what if I played Romancing SaGa 3? Like, I was trying to decide if I wanted to play Romancing SaGa 3 or Saga Frontier. I've beaten Romancing SaGa 3. I've never beaten Saga Frontier. And that was actually the deciding factor, because these games are so easy to get lost in. Like, absolutely lost. Like, talking to everyone in the desperate hope that something will happen style lost. It can be bad. And so I feel like it's more sensical for me to play a game that I actually know how to beat rather than, like, you know, one that I'm just like, I don't know what to do. That said, I mean, again, if you like this kind of game, if as you're watching me play this, you're like, this looks like fun, I would suggest trying either Romancing SaGa 3, which recently came out on the Switch. I personally don't like that version, but it is an easy way to play it. I'd recommend Saga Frontier 1 or the remake of Romancing SaGa for the PS2. And I think any one of those would do you good. Also, more mechanics. So you see there's like a wind effect going on? That means that any wind moves will be strengthened in the current environment. It's kind of like a field effect. Lots of cool ideas in this game. But a lot of obscurity. A lot of hard to figure out stuff. Oh, so I mentioned earlier about how your protagonist's HP is what lets you know what opens up some events. Therefore, like, sometimes, you know, like, she's getting HP right now, which is great, but, you know, sometimes you can just be like wandering around because you just don't have enough HP. Like, that was what happened to me the first time I played this game, is that I was like, what do I do? I've gone to every town and nothing's happening. Well, I actually just had to level up, and then an event happened. It's a weird game, and it's definitely a game that I think is helped by knowing a little bit, which is not ideal. You know, you never want to have a game that's like, you have to know how to play it before you play it. That's not ideal. But, brain split. I really do think that the game is fun if you give it a chance, so to speak. So that's why we're playing it. I like it. There's that. Another somewhat unusual thing about this game is that the enemies, it has the same thing that Final Fantasy VIII had, where the enemies level up as you do. So even though they look like goblins right now, and they are goblins, later on when we bump into those, they won't be goblins anymore. They'll be like something strong. So you can always find things that are worth fighting. What is this? Oh, that's a bow. That's right. I forgot I gave her a bow. Fight the ghost fire. Bash that arachnoid's... Arachnoid? It's an arachnoid! Double stab! Hunter. Use your fire. Oh, so here's another confusing thing. The lowest level fire spell is called Air Slash. Right? Just like, why though? Like, it makes more sense when you know it's supposed to be like Seiryu, or not Seiryu, Suzaku. You know, it's supposed to be a bird. It's still weird to have a fire spell called Air Slash in a game that has wind magic, right? Seems kind of odd. A little confusing. I wonder if they changed that for the new version. My big problem with the new version is just that it has it has two major problems for me. One, it does an effect with the sprites that I don't like. Well, in general, the visual style is worse because it does the thing where like the sprites are 16-bit sprites, but the environment is like higher resolution, so nothing feels like it fits. And then it also has this thing where like when you're fighting bosses, they make them kind of like wiggle, like they do that like morphing thing that some people think looks cool and I personally think looks terrible. Oh, he figured something out. So what happened there, Thomas used his bow and learned a special ability. So now what that means is if you go into the menu and you go to his special techniques, so go down here, techniques, Thomas. He's got leg sweep and random arrow. These are both red now. That means he's learning them. If I use them enough times, he will master them. And once he's mastered them, you can like store them in your little like, list here. So like once this becomes black, I'll be able to remove it and it will show up here. And anytime I want it, either on him or anyone else, I can learn it. So it's kind of like, it's always really exciting when you're like, oh, yes, I learned something. And I don't really know what causes you to learn one thing or another. I don't know what moves it one way or the other, but it is exciting. And random arrow is a super good one because it's a field attack, and I don't have many of those right now, so yay for that. Also, I'm fairly certain you only learn new abilities if you use your basic attack. So if you use a special move, you're not going to learn a different special move. You have to just be using your regular physical attack. Also, the battle song in this game is really cool. I like it a lot. So that's another one of the strange magics. Like, all the magic in this game is odd. What the Ghostfire did there is he cast a spell called Self-Burning on himself, which effectively creates a fire counterattack to anyone who physically attacks him. That's why when the bard attacked him, it kind of like hit back with fire. It's neat. It's a really cool system. I love this game. Really like this game a lot. And what's especially funny about that too is that this has the same thing that Final Fantasy XII had for me, where like the first time I played it, I hated it because I just didn't really get how to play it. And then, oh, okay, he already learned random arrow. Wonderful. Okay, so I can show you what I was talking about. So now I can go into the menu, go to tech, and you see it's black now. So I can say remove, and now I can go over here and get it back. If I did the same thing with leg sweep, I would lose it forever, or until someone figured it out again. So it's worth it anytime you have a red move to just master them. So she needs Axle Sniper, Brain Split. All of these are red. So okay, well, I should start using some special abilities, I guess. Oh boy, so much talking about the mechanics of this game. It's just because I'm excited about it. You know, I'm excited to play this game. Excited to be showing it off because I think it's great. Oh, the other thing that I don't really like about the remake is the translation. It's got that... I've complained about this before. Modern Square Enix games have this kind of like, I would say pretentious style of... oh, I forgot you had Squall. Use Squall. Have kind of like a pretentious way of translating to make things like... I get what they're trying to go for. You know, they're trying to make their games sound like great and momentous and like impressive. But especially in a situation where you've played the original and the translation wasn't like that, and then you play it and it's like really highfalutin, it feels weird. Simple example. So in this translation, which is a fan translation, I'm playing this on the Super Nintendo. It's a reproduction card. I mastered Axle Sniper. That's useful. I'm going to keep it, but there you go. Mastered another spell. Actually, speaking of spells, I should run back and get some MP back. I'm going to go do that. Yeah, so in this game, we have the Death Eclipse. That's a good name. It's punchy. You know immediately that it's bad. You're like, oh, Death Eclipse. That sounds bad. I don't want that. It's a very clear, understandable name. You want to know what they called it in the remake? the Morastrum of Death. No, that's not even it. It's Morastrum of something else. Morastrum of what? Let me look it up because I wanna complain about it. Hang on. Oh yeah, The Rise of Morastrum. It's like, I get it. I get that they want to translate it, but it makes the games feel kind of pretentious to me. That's the word I always use. They feel pretentious. They feel like they're trying too hard. And I don't know. I know Death Eclipse isn't exactly a clever name, but you know, it was like a worldwide event, and when you give it a name like Death Eclipse, anyone in the world would know what that means. It's a bad thing involving an eclipse. With The Rise of Morastrum, I don't know what a Morastrum is. I'm a normal person. I don't know what a Morastrum is. Maybe other people don't know what a Morastrum is. No, oh, I can't leave. Nuts. Okay, well, we gotta find Gone first. Never mind. It just feels like... I forgot it shows you this every time. It's like, yep, that tornado is still happening up there. Right. I also think it's kind of funny that the Devil King's Palace, you enter from the highest point, like it's just a bunch of stairs leading up to the top of the tower, and then you work your way down. It's a little strange. It's an odd construction for a building, but I guess that's how they decided to do it. I don't know. I just feel like they could have very easily just kept some of the earlier things and just been okay with it, you know? Just been like, yeah, it's the Death Eclipse. It's bad. You know what death is? Good. You know what an eclipse is? Good. You know that these two things are bad together. And it's easy, and you're done. Easy. And that's only one example. Like, there are plenty of other pretentious things. And, like, I think the first game that I experienced where I got frustrated about this was the Chrono Trigger DS remake. They made a lot of changes to the translation in that one that just wasn't a fan of. Not a fan. Really not a fan. So, but if it's for you, great. If you don't care that much about the translation, or oh, I got Faint. Very nice. I think that's a counterattack move. I think that sets up a counterattack. So if anything attacks me, I will counter, which is not a great move, really. There are a couple of Faint moves. They're not the best. Let's see. Is that what that is? Lure enemy's weakness and stun enemy. Yeah, that's what it is. Brain split. Hit the head cartridge. Oh, I forgot. Yes, this game was made late enough in the SNES's life that you can push L and R to switch between characters. Very helpful. Got hard hit. Okay, so I'm still trying to get leg sweep, hard hit, rotation hit, double stab, aiming. Okay. Anyway, that's me. That's my preference. I like it a little bit more when the translation is a bit more reasonable. Normal speaky. You know. That's me. Doesn't have to be you. If you like the highfalutin language, you be you. You know, you do you, but it ain't for me. Alright, keep on learning skill, people. So I play the SNES originals. It's more fun for me. Oh, okay. Now Faint isn't what I thought it was. Faint is a move cancel. Okay. So there are a couple of moves in this game that you saw that little bit of Japanese show up. That was basically lose turn, I guess, might be the best way to put it. It cancels, like if that character has not taken an action yet and was going to take an action, they now no longer take an action. Leg sweep is actually the same thing, so it's good to know that that's what feint is. I didn't realize that. But yeah, leg sweep is not great against enemies that are flying, because I think the fire is considered to be flying. So. I feel like I've done nothing but explain mechanics this entire episode. I'm sorry. Again, I'm just really excited. I'm excited about the game. I'm excited to play it. I hope people enjoy it. That kind of thing. Ooh, fire effect. Very nice. Anybody learn the move? Nope. No moves mastered yet. And I want to say that this game has the same effect that FF2 had, where you really only have to use the ability once to have the chance to get it. So, especially with things like magic, where you may not have a whole lot of MP to go around, it's just as beneficial to use a spell once in a battle as it is to use it many times. So it's good to spread the effect around wherever you can. I always like that one. It's like, doot, doot. So Nora is a powerhouse. She's awesome, and that's why I wanted her in my party. She was a member of the party that I beat the game with the first time. So I think the first time I beat the game, it was Monica, Nora, Ellen, who else was in there? Sarah, oh gosh, not you. Hello, Whirlwind. He's got kind of like a little funky curl in the front. Oh no. I don't need you here. Really? I don't need you here, monster. Not punch. Use Squall. Squall and Sunshine, I think, are the only base level magic skills, like the 1 MPs, that hit everyone in the environment. Unfortunately, that also means that they're kind of weak. Feint. Nope, didn't work. Nuts. I was hoping I could show off a critical hit. So, enemies do have elemental weaknesses, like they do in most games. And if you trigger an elemental weakness, the screen will like flash. And I think I'm surprised the ghost fire was not weak to... Oh, it's a ghost fire. It's probably weak to sunlight. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I was hoping I could show you one of those, but no such luck. Goblin, now we fight. I love the battle song. Really do. Love the battle song in this game. Air slash. Actually, I should use some of Charles' other moves, because I don't think we're going to get to keep Charles. Nope, that was a miss. That's a cancel. So when you see the 3 characters, that's a cancel. I don't speak Japanese, I don't know what it says, but I have learned to know what to look for. Hello, whirlwind. Everyone's song. I don't remember what this does. I should look it up. I don't remember what it does at all. Oh, I do have a... No, I don't have any MP. Never mind. I was going to say, do I have MP? No, I don't have MP. So self-burning we've already seen. Feather seal, I don't remember. I think firewall is actually just defense against fire. Feather seal, I don't know what it does. Oh, shadow sow, yes, that's another good one. That's another attack cancel. Or no, shadow sow is actually paralysis. Yeah, see, so speaking to the idea that like I didn't really get. Oh, it just makes me invisible. That's awesome. Speaking of the idea that I didn't know what was going on with like the legendary beast things, I couldn't figure out why air slash and feather seal were fire moves. You know, like when you know that it's associated with a fire bird, it makes sense. When you don't know that, it's like, why are these not wind moves? This seems so strange. Why are these not wind moves? Anyway, whatever. Ow. Thomas. Come on, Tommy. Yay! Aha! That's something I also didn't know for a while. Oh, hey, it's gone. Hey, gone. Mitch, are you there? It's okay. Mitch is waiting at Muse's place. I was scared. Okay, you've done a good job, Gone. Alright, so we have now acquired the child. Cool. Run! Hello. Now we fight. So something I should mention also, because this is just the stream where I verbal barf onto you, and I hope you enjoy it. Well, that's a questionable statement. I hope you enjoy me barfing on you, dear viewer. I hope you enjoy me throwing up. Yes, so the you might be wondering why I'm not running, considering I've clearly shown that there's a run feature. The reason I'm not running is because when you run, if you get into a fight while running, your formation is messed up. So I like the formation ability I have that raises my defense. I don't want to risk running into fights accidentally, so that's why I'm doing it. And I also just like walking. I hate to say it, I just like to walk in video games. It's easier for me. Stab him. Brain split him. Rotation. Nope. Never mind. Hit him. Squall him. Stab him. All these things and more you should do to him. He's dead now. Never mind, he's dead. Yay! Found a club. Found some money. Brain split. Yes! Awesome. Learning moves. So helpful. Let's see. So, text. So, faint. Yeah, so enemy shadow, paralyze enemy. Learn brain split. Good. Okay. Okay, and what do... Let's see. You know what that does? Got power of beasts! Just raise your attack power. Become invisible, firewall. Protect all from heat and cold with firewall. Okay, yeah. Yeah, see, slash with air sword. It's a fire spell. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense on any level until you know that Suzaku is the fire bird, and then you're like, oh, okay. I got it now. What's in here? Oh, this is how you're supposed to figure out that Gon's there. Okay, I got it. Oh, that's the other thing, is like when you're running, enemies turn into shadows, so you can see he's like harder to spot. They're little things. It makes sense. Like if you're running, you're not paying as much attention. I just walk so I can keep my formation. I'm gonna keep doing that just because I really like the battle song. Just gonna keep doing it. Like, I don't even realize I'm doing it until I catch myself. I come back to myself. I'm like, oh yeah, right. I probably shouldn't just be la-la-laing on stream, but there you go. I'm excited. So that is that. Oh, I do hope people who are not familiar with this game see this game and they're like, what a cool game. That would make me happy. I think it's a cool game. And speaking of the series, like, especially on the SNES, I really do feel like this one kind of stands head and tails, or head and shoulders above the others. Romancing SaGa 1, I have gotten to the very end of, and I haven't beaten it, because, like, right at the end, it gets really hard. It's kind of frustrating, really. Got, like, super difficult at the very end. That said, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe there's something I could have done to improve matters. I'm not really sure. Nice. Good for you. If that's the case, let's see. Do I have that? I don't think it shows up in your list until you do it. Yeah, you have to remove it and then it's there. Oh, never mind. I was wrong. You just store it. Okay, so it's like an item. I can store it in there. Is that the case? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, sorry. Anyone can get it. So yeah, we have aiming now. And I'm guessing everyone has access to those two. Cool. So it actually might be beneficial for him to have hard hit. Now, the only reason why you would ever not, like, the reason why you don't want a full inventory of skills is that you can't learn new things unless you have space. So it's always good to have, like, some open spots. I would really like to learn Feint so I can remove it, because I don't need Feint. Especially since I have Leg Sweep. Leg Sweep is the more useful version. I was doing it again. Not even thinking about it, I just immediately started singing that song. Alright, why don't you Leg Sweep? Fire Baru! Oh yeah, so RS1 it's a decent game. It would probably be a more fun game if I hadn't played this one first. It's one of those things where, like, when you go back to RS1, you can see the age. You know, it's like if you played FF3/6 before you played FF2, like I did, and you went back to FF2, you're like, oh, this looks really primitive. And I mean, that might color your opinion. And in my case, it did. In both situations. Both RS1 and Final Fantasy 2/4, when I played it after playing the later game, I was like, this is not as good. And I wasn't very excited about it. So, I think the biggest problem with RS1 is that it's even more obscure about your goals than this one is. Like, I literally had no idea what I was supposed to be doing at all in RS1. Eventually, I figured out that I was supposed to be collecting gems and trying to find a ring. And then I did, and I accidentally found the final boss's lair. You never want to say that. You never want to say, I accidentally found the end of the game. You should know where the end of the game is. You should know that you're going to the end of the game. But I just kind of stumbled upon it. I didn't know where I was going. Thank you for helping, Gon. Bye. So Charles will be important later on. Or he'll be available later on. That was sort of our meeting of Charles. So now we have one less character. And the question is, do I want to keep Thomas or not? Yeah, I'll keep him for now. I think I will teach him aiming, though. There we go. Do, 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 do. So we're still looking for information about the masquerade, though. Hello, child, talk to me.
The Devil Palace is the place where many amateur adventurers go. I don't think there's any more treasure left.
Okay. So the Devil Palace is just like a fun place for like new adventurers.
Houses in the new town are too expensive.
There was a secret behind the waterfall, but I guess not. Yeah, we knew that they came to Padona, but did we find out that they went anywhere after this? Can't remember. What about this dude? Hello. I want to talk to you. Hello. Hello. This is the old town, the Padona before the Holy King era. Okay. So it was the Padona that grew up around the Devil King's palace. But what's my equipment looking like, come to think of it? What am I wearing? Alright, leather, silk, and leather. Hard leather, leather, fur vest, leather. Okay. Let's go to the weapon shop. What do we got? Hello. Night stuff. Oh, it's expensive, though. So, one other kind of sticking point in this game. Money is a big problem early on. Because you really only get money from humanoid enemies. And early on, the only humanoid enemies you fight are goblins. And they only ever give you like $4. So it can be very tough to find money early on. Also, I just remembered I have to change my formation again. Alright, what do we got? Battle shield. Attack and defense up. Well balanced. Sounds good. Put Nora in the front here too. Yeah. Spell pyramid. Middle members magic up. Okay, Desert Lance. One person fight at the front. Nope. This might work best. Because I want to say that one raises the defense. Wait, can I just change this? Oh, okay. Okay, so I was going to speak about this eventually. So now we're in what is known as Commander Mode. I'll fight a couple of battles in Commander Mode to let you see what it is, but it does this thing where the battles go on automatic, but special things can happen depending on your formation. So you can see here Commander Mode, Close Delta, Spell Fusion. So if you have the right arrangement of spells, sometimes they'll do like a super move, or if you have the right arrangement of like weapon types and ability with those weapons, they'll do like super moves, stuff like that. It's cool, but I generally like having control of my party more. Back to Desert Lance. Okay, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I always find myself wondering, it's like, am I missing out on most of the game because I do it this way? I just don't feel comfortable when I don't have control over my characters. I don't know. It feels weird to me. Yeah, what's that? 4 gold. That's a cheap inn. That's a cheap inn. 4 gold. Also, a sort of funny thing is that like the sprite they use for sleeping in this game is just the character's like magic casting pose, so some people sleep really weird. Hello. When a city cannot be reached by ship, try to go to a city near it. That's what I was telling y'all earlier. Ludwig is wonderful. Neat. Down here. Oh, this is the storage place. Hello. Yeah, so you can store things here, which is helpful. I don't want to store anything right now, but eventually I will want to store things. Because you have a finite inventory. Although it is a pretty big inventory. It seems strange that they give you a big inventory and a storage method, but go figure. Got any info? Gossip. How are the famous Devil Palace steam buns? Devil King cookies, abyss candies. We have everything in the songs of the 4 devil lords. So yeah, this place makes its tourism industry thrives on the fact that the world was once taken over by a demon king. Kind of a funny concept, huh? All right, so I don't think there's anything in Padona nearby. So let's take a boat. Let's take a boat and see what we can find. I'm looking for adventure. The other option would be for me to just go to the Devil King Palace and just like search for treasure. I think I'd rather try and find stuff that's up more interesting, because there's a lot of stuff you can miss out on if you get too strong too fast. It's a game that you benefit from exploring as much as you can early on, because otherwise you'll miss events. Please pay before the trip. Okay, look at all these places I can go. Let me go to Libroff. So once you've paid for it once, you can then fast travel there. So you only ever really have to pay once, unless you just really want to ride a ship again for no reason. Alright, we are now in Libroff, which I think is in the southern continent, right? I think this is one of the weapon towns. Like, there are a couple of towns that are basically owned by a merchant family, and I want to say all three of them are in direct competition with each other. So when you go to each one, they'll be like, "Don't buy any weapons from that town," or stuff like that. Very strange. Hello, madam. Lasayev is a businessman in Libroff. He is no worse than the businessmen in Yamas and Wilmington. See? What did I just tell you? Hello. Oh, so this is a reference to something that happened in the first game. In the first Romancing SaGa, if you got 9,999 gold, anything you got past that, you just lose. And there were so many times when I would open a treasure chest, find 2,000 gold, and just be like, well, I guess I just threw that away. It's not important. In this game, you actually have like a bank. It's nice. Hello. Oh, these are fancy things. I can't afford any of this. Never mind. Never mind. That's all fancy. What else we got going on here? Ding, ding. I'm going places that have weapons to see if I can find the masquerade. I'm Alex Lasayev. I'm worried about my youngest daughter, Tatiana. So Tatiana is the girl we saw running around. She has like a whole quest that I just don't care about because I don't like Tatiana. There you go. She's just an annoying character. Hello.
I'm Boris Lasayev. My brother Nikolai will be the successor, so I'll get nothing. Hooray!
I'm Nikhail Lasayev. I'm doing accounting for the company. Accounting involves drinking alcohol. Extreme accounting.
I'm Bela, the eldest daughter. I'm more than 30 years older than Tatiana.
Oh, wow. That's an old man that was still getting busy pretty late. Jeez. 30-year gap is a pretty large gap in terms of when you have your children. Yeah, but what would I know? Hello, child.
Tatiana, where can she be?
Is this a woman or a man? I think it's a woman.
There is a dispute about the heir of the Lasayev family.
Right? Oh, it's an old man.
I just sound like this. I sound like an old woman. Meh.
Hello. Got any info?
It seems that Lasayev's daughter is running away from home.
The Divine Church built a tower at the location where the Naj Palace was. They say its height is about 1,000,000 times of a person's height.
Really? It's quite tall. I once worked in the Padona workshop, but not anymore. The symbolic spear there was stolen. Even the master was killed. Ken hasn't given up. He's still confident that a good job can be done if we combine our power. Oh, that young lad. He has said such bright words. Okay, I'll work once again. So this is a little side quest. You can bring people back to Padona like that. So I want this guy to invent weapons. I see. So these guys will make things for you. Make me something. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to have like a base item, but most of the time early on you can just say like, make me a thing, make me a partisan. It begins the research, and after a little while, they'll have it and you can come back and pick it up. And also they will stock it in the store up above. So it's worthwhile to get as many people back as you can, because in addition to the fact that having more smiths means the work gets done faster, I think at some point you can also have like 2 things being produced at once. So there's Tatiana. I don't want to talk to her. No. No, Tatiana. Oh boy, let's go to a new place. Where else can we go? Have I dumped enough information on y'all yet? Probably scared away anyone who might be interested in playing this game, because they're like, oh boy, it sounds like a nightmare to play. Nope, go back. I didn't mean to be scary about it. It's just fun. It's fun, and there's a lot to it. We've already been to Mules. I guess let's go check out Wilmington. Wilmington, I believe, is in the north? Like the central northern continent? I believe that's where it is. Maybe not. Oh no, this is in the south. Never mind. It's in the southwest, I think. Is that the case? Yeah. Okay, I know where I am.
Hello. The Fulbright firm has been famous since the Holy King's time, but not quite recently.
The Fulbright firm has fallen on hard times, eh? Is this a something? Kind of looks like there's something back there, doesn't it? There's like a person hiding. A person hiding? No, I guess not. So there's a person hiding. Hello.
A purchase agent can be somewhat unexpected.
Alright, what's this have to say? I want to read the sign. I can't read the sign. Okay, never mind. Inside we go. Hello. Prices are more reasonable. What do I... Oh, I have a rapier right now. I guess that's no good. Nope. Cool stuff, but nope. It's locked. Okay. Hello over here. Ooh, okay, so this is a pretty good armor shop. It's good to know. I'm going to keep holding on to my money for now, just because, as I said before, it's easy to run out of money, especially early on when you don't have a good source of it. So we're going to need to start exploring it after a little bit. It seems that the Darfur firm of Yamas is a showy firm. So Darfur seems to be the most suspicious of the 3 firms. Okay. Just an empty house. That's fine. Where's the pub? Oh. Well, hello, madam. Look at you. She looks like Silas from Final Fantasy 6.
Using the group's capital wisely is a technique in purchasing.
Okay. Oh, here's another one. Awesome. Yeah. Go back and work. Cool. I want you to invent armor.
I see.
Got that partisan done yet? Nope, still working on it. Okay. How about you? I want you to make a headband. Start researching how to make a headband. Alright, let's take one more one more ocean voyage to let's see what we can find. I want to if I can, I want to go up to the northeast, or no, just the north. I want to go to Lance. Can I get to Lance? Lance is important. We gotta get to Lance. Can I go to Lance? I can't go to Lance. I can go to Farce. Where is Farce? Farce is in the north, I think. Where's Farce? I'm gonna go to Farce. Oh, where's Farce? Is Farce in the north?
I think it is.
So there's one town in this game that's just called Small Town. Which is really funny. There's a town that's just called, like, it's either Small Town or Small Village. It's very dumb. This looks like a good thing. We're going up, at least. Is this where I'm meant to be? Yes, this is the right one. Okay.
It seems that they're recruiting in Stanley.
So, Farce and Stanley are, feuding right now.
Stanley uses the highwaymen to block the trade between Farce and Lance.
So, we want to help with that situation. Hello, sir. What are you doing over here? Get rich quick! Get rich quick! Okay. Okay.
These folks are just psyched about getting rich quick. Okay.
Weird. A little strange. Oh, geez, he saw me. No! No, don't touch me! Don't touch me! I don't want it! Alright, what are you doing? I don't really have anybody that uses swords. Sort of wish I did, though. What do we got upstairs? Well, hello.
I'm worried about my brother and Stanley. Stanley is directly west of here.
So now we can get to Stanley. That's how you get places through word of mouth. If I didn't talk to that woman, I wouldn't know how to go to Stanley. It's cool, right? Like, it's interesting because it rewards investigation and exploring your environment, and I like that kind of thing in video games. I like when you can use non-violent efforts to solve problems in games. I think it's interesting. So, yeah, awesome. So yeah, so now we got Farce and we got Stanley, and as you can see, that's where we are. Let's see, Pedona is in the middle, I believe, right? Yeah, here's Pedona. This is Libroff. That's also Libroff. Okay. Where's Wilmington? So that's Great Arc. Where's Wilmington? Where is Wilmington? Hang on. Where's Wilmington? That's Stanley. That's Farce. Where's Wilmington? Mules, Loanne. The north. Can't do anything in the north yet. Where's Wilmington? We were there. Oh, here it is, Wilmington. Okay, so Wilmington is on the western side of the world. So, like, another nice thing about this game is you kind of get used to where things are because you have to, like, go places and like, get used to where things are. Wow, that sounded stupid when I said it that way. I like it. I'm going to keep talking about how I like it because I think it's really cool. Stanley. Hello.
Farce's army simply wants a war. They need no reasons.
So yeah, it's Powder Keg over here. Seems like they're gathering soldiers in Farce. Okay.
Hello.
Welcome. Any info?
No, nothing special. The dispute with Farce will only make Ludwig laugh.
I think Ludwig is the person that's in charge of the Dofor firm in Yamas. So. Oh! This guy! So, first of all, that's a man. I didn't know for the longest time. I thought it was a woman in a kimono. It's a dude. His name is Shonen, which means boy. He is boy. He is boy character. Boy character is super important at the end of the game. Boy character, if you talk to him, will just say, leave me alone. Boy character does not want any of your crap for most of the game. He will eventually become relevant. Hello. Oh, another one. Okay. Yep. Okay. Cool. Uh-huh. So we're back here. I want you to invent me armor.
I see.
So you're doing headband, yeah. Now we got 2 people working on armor, which is good. And we have 1 person working on weapons. So, still working on it. We're just going to keep on gathering people. Can I change my product? I think I can change who's in charge, right? Can I change who's walking? So side note, this is something that doesn't work in this game. It's supposed to have like a what do you call it? Not a diary, a list of current events in progress. It doesn't work. It's so easy to get lost in this game. Hence why I called this stream "Time to Get Lost," because it's a bit of a mess. Because I thought I could change my order. No. Conf? Oh. Fast. I guess not. I thought you could. Whatever. Alright, we're out. Okay, so let's go back to Stanley. Because I believe there's a quest I can do that involves going from Stanley to Lance, and that's where I'm trying to get to, is Lance. Do 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 do.
Monsters have increased near the city.
I'm worrying about my sister in Farce.
So if you would come here first, now you would be able to go to Farce. It's cool. I'm gonna say it again. Really like that mechanic. Just, it rewards you for talking to people and like learning about your environment, and I think that's cool. Sir?
All items are sold to the Stanley Army.
So he's just getting drunk.
He's like, yeah. It looks like a shop. It's not a shop, really. We sold everything already.
Hello. Sure. I'm really curious how people will react to this series, though. If people will be interested in it. I've certainly gushed enough to let you know that I like this game, but it can be challenging to get into, and I understand that. Alright, so what do we have here? We have a magic salesperson. Sell water magic, that's useful. Oh, I do need life water. No. Learn life water. That's the basic healing spell. That's what makes Thomas useful. There's something I can do here that I'm trying to avoid doing, because it's a little bit of a problem. It's kind of annoying to have to deal with. Excuse me. As far as maybe all I can do right now. Did I learn about the Naj Desert in Libroff? Let's see. No, I don't know about. So the Naj Desert is down here. I will eventually be able to go there. I can't go there yet. All right, I'll do it. Oh, this is like one of the worst things in the game. It's an interesting novelty. It's an interesting novelty that they put in the game that is mostly frustrating to actually do. It's a war simulation thing. So you go here. You want to be a mercenary? You'll get 1500 G for participating and 1500 more if you win. Sure. The first 1500 to the battle. So it's got this sort of like this thing. Please choose formation. Top charge. It's just like strange. All right. Let's see. All defense. Chase him. All charge. Get him. Take him down. Oh, they immediately charge too. So you can see my HP down there at the bottom. You can regain HP by like defending or retreating. So right now I'm trying to wear them out a little bit. And then going, keep going. Move back. All right, chase them. So now we want to forward attack. Go. So get as many as we can. So they're going to try and recover a little bit. Your goal is to kind of like push them if you can. All defense. Just defend for now. Like, the game just really does... Maybe the manual explained this better, but the game certainly does not explain how to do this very well at all. Front row exchange. Keep going. Alright, let's see. Cover. This one? Okay. Yeah, take him. Take him down. Go. 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 I'm doing pretty good, actually, this time. All right. Forward attack. So that noise means that we are defeating their units. All right, let me all defense for a little bit. Let me get some of my stuff back here. All right, forward attack. Get him. Come on. Get him. Get him. All right. Move back. Some health back. All right. Forward defense. Come on. Report. Remains 1600. Breakthrough 300. I don't know what that means, but get him. Take him out. That guy got away. I don't know if that matters, though. All right. Keep going. Oh, crap. We got some guys breaking through on the bottom. Yeah, push him back. Push him back. Yeah, push him back. They ain't got nothing. Forward attack. Keep going. Take him out. Yeah, yeah, beat him. Come on. Oh, those guys got through. Fudge, they got through. All right, all defense for a sec. Forward attack. Take him out. Come on. Crap. I don't know if I'm winning or losing. It's so hard to tell. Like, people clearly got past me, but I feel like I'm really pushing them back. All right. Oh, no, chase them. Chase them if they're running. Front row exchange. You don't have a front row. Take him out. Yeah. Yeah, do it. Get him. Get him. Isn't this weird? It's just hard to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I have difficulty figuring out if I'm winning or losing. Am I doing good? I can't tell. From what I understand, if you play as Harid, you have to do a lot of this in the game. Which is one of the things that makes Harid's game a little less fun. Do I win? I feel like I won. Yeah! Awesome! I never actually won that one. Yay! I did it! Yeah! Yeah, we did it! We won! And I got a lot of money for it, too. Super good. Never won that before. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want it on stream. It's a weird thing, right? Like, it's a strange mechanic. But that's how it works. You saw our power? Oh, so beef! So I still haven't found a way to get to Lance, though. Although, since I'm currently awash with money, I could probably take some more ocean trips. So maybe I'll do that. Let's go see what Farce is like. Are they all sad now? You sad now? You gonna cry, bro? Nope. They're still excited about Ludwig.
As we lost to Stanley, there is no way we can fight Ludwig of Pivona.
Oh, Pedona is Ludwig of Pedona. Okay. That's right. They mentioned that didn't they mention the Ludwig family was like living in Padona, something like that. I don't know. I don't want to talk to her. Whatever. I'm out of here. All right. So let's go back to Padona. Open up some more places since I am awash with flavor right now. Oh, we're actually almost at 2 hours. This is also a game that you can just kind of like lose track of time really easily because there's just a lot of like exploring to do in the game, which I like. All right, we have not been to Yamas or Zweig. Let's go there. Oh, Zweig is in the northeast. Yes, this is actually where I want to go. This will open up the northeast, and I want to go to the northeast. And I mean, you might be saying as you're watching me play this, it's like, how are you supposed to know any of this? I know it because I did it before. The first time I played this game, I just wandered around. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't have any money. I just went from town to town looking for something to do. And eventually the game showed up. Towards the North Mountains, there's a small town called Kidlanto. Now I can go to Kidlanto. It's cool. I'm learning things. Boy child, come back. Zweig is the #1 in the world. So I think this is like a fighting arena place.
There's a nice mansion in the Western Forest. A genius lives there.
Now I can go to the Western Forest.
Hello.
This is Duke Zweig's castle. You want to sign in for the tournament too? What is that? What are you talking about? What? You don't even know this? Well, I'll try to explain. This tournament gathers all the brave warriors around the world. It is held by Duke Zweig. The rule is to perform a one-on-one group match. One-to-one group match. The winner will stay and the loser will be out. The team can have anyone and any number of persons. There's no restriction on fighting methods. The champion will receive a prize from Duke Zweig. I've never won it. Never won the champion match. Strange animals appear in the Western Forest. Okay. Oh, it's Tatiana. Don't touch me. Don't touch me, Tatiana. We have a lot of money, but I don't want to use it all in one place. Let's just hold on to our money for now. We're okay. What's in your back room? I'm going to explore your back room, sir. There's a woman back here. Hello. Look, it's a woman. Woman! Get out of bed! Out of bed, woman! Woman! It actually looks like a unique sprite, too. I'm curious about what that woman looks like. Sir, what does your wife look like? Nope.
He's like, I'm not going to talk to you about that.
No. That's my wife. Did we find the pub here yet? Oh, that's the pub. Okay, gotta thread the needle. Oh, there's Shonen again. And guess what? He don't want to talk to us. Go away. What do you sell? Earth magic? Okay. It's always worth checking in with the mages because they actually do sell different things. Usually it's only like one thing that's different. Like they have a collection of like standard spells and then sometimes they have a special spell. But
you hear that there are some strange animals around here? If you catch any, I'd buy them.
So that's kind of a fun thing. You can go to the Western Forest because we know that there are strange animals there and fight them and come back to this guy and he'll buy them from you. Any info? Any gossip? Cool. Not very helpful. Ah! Don't touch me, Tatiana! No! I don't want it! Like, she forces her way into your party, too.
Zweig is the best of this world! Whoa!
Cool. So that the like X button, leave a building button is very helpful. Like, just push X, I'm out of the building. Push X again, I'm out in the world map. It's convenient unless you forget that, you know, X is normally the menu button and you get confused. Anyway, so we got Western Forest and we got Kidlanto. I actually want to go to Kidlanto. Hello there. Sir.
Please listen to the mayor about the monsters.
I would, but I'm trying to get to Lance. Oh, this girl, it's Nina.
Are you travelers? Have you met a guy named Paul? So you never heard of him. He left town talking of becoming a gallant adventurer. He should be back by now.
So I would actually like to save Paul if I can. It's like a special quest that's very easy to miss because you don't like it. It's like a level 1 quest. So if you level up at all, you probably miss it. So I want to try and get Paul's quest.
You can reach Just Term by sailing beyond the North Sea by ship.
Okay. Hello. Want to take a ride to Jester? Yep. Cool. And keep in mind, like, I'm opening up a lot of the world just to have as many options as possible. It is a very viable strategy to just go to the Devil King Palace and level up there and skip all of this and only go to places when you want to. I'm doing it this way because I want to see as much content as possible in the game, but it's just as reasonable to just go straight to the Devil King Palace and just do the events there. But you miss out on things doing that, so I want to try and see as much as I can. So I'm in Just Term now. I think from Just Term I can get to Lance, right? Hello.
If you go west, you will reach Lance, the city of the Holy King.
Cool. Okay. Good. Hello.
You'll reach Gidlanto if you take a ship beyond the Northern Sea.
Oh! It's Ward! This dude! So I recently got a art book that covers like the Saga series. I had no idea what this dude looks like. He is awesome though. I want Ward.
Hi, are you interested in a job?
Oh, but I might miss out on Paul if I do this. No, not for now. He's gonna stick around here. He's basically like a hunter, and he's looking for someone to come with him to like a hunt in the northern reaches. Hello, are you stuck? What are you doing, madam?
The first Loan Marquis Ferdinand and his wife Hilda were from this city.
Okay. Hello, sir. You sort of look like Apu from The Simpsons, actually. Nope. With a mustache. Oh, look, it's Shonen. Everyone's favorite, Shonen. Hello. Leave me alone. Again, I had no idea what you were supposed to... Because he keeps showing up in, like, every town. And I was like, what is this person? He just says, leave me alone every time you talk to him. Whatever, dude. Alright, what about you? Hunter bow is actually... Is that what I have? That may be what I already have, actually. Hard leather might be useful, though. Defense 13. Fur vest. So 7 and 6, 13 and 6. Let's see. What am I wearing? No, that was the X button. Oy vey. All right, you have... This is 9 and 4, so that would actually be better. And 3 and 3. Okay. Oh, but this has resistance against cold. Okay. Hard leather. I'm gonna see if I can buy some hard leather for Katrina and Thomas. You know, this game doesn't have one of the most beneficial things that Final Fantasy 3/6 gave to the game. Just the ability to see if, like, equipment is better or worse. Just that little thing was so helpful. I want 2 of those. Yep. Cool. Push to X again. Push to X again. There's gonna be a lot of that. Hard leather, yes. And put on this hard leather. Awesome. But yeah, Ward looks so wild if you actually see his illustration. I mean, what I'll try and do, I think, next time is I'll try and get a picture so that I can show you guys during the stream next time, because I don't have one on my computer right now. But hello, what are you doing here? Water magic. Well, I don't need that. Cool, thank you though. Actually, speaking of like the strange magic system, they really branched out with the magic system in Saga Frontier. The magic system in Saga Frontier is bizarre. Lance. Okay, cool. We found Lance. So Lance is the city of the Holy King, which means anything related to the Holy King can be found here. We also know that they mentioned that the astronomers who predicted the first death eclipse fled here, so we're going to look for them as well.
The holy temple that enshrines the Holy King is west of the city.
Okay. Let's go take a look. Let's be tourists. Look at this small pig child. Hello, pig child.
Johannes the Astronomer does nothing but sleep in his nice home.
Okay. Ellen! Oh my gosh, it was Ellen! No! Must get Ellen and Barty. Oh, but I always have Ellen, though. Oh, do I want to have Ellen? Oh, I love her, though. She's so cool. Ellen is the best character. But I always get her. Every time I play this game, I always get Ellen. Oh, fine. I'll hold off. I mean, you can always get characters back. Like, if you let everyone a character to get out of your party, you can talk to like the bartender, and they will remove a character from your party. And then that character will go back to wherever you found them. So I can always get her back, but she's so cool though. Ellen is so cool. It looks like squatty suits of armor. They're kind of cute. So this is the Holy King Palace. So whereas the Devil King made his palace in Pedona, the Holy King made his palace in Lance. And there's Harid. So we get Harid here too if we want him. And I don't think there's much we can actually do here right now, but later on in the game this place will be relevant. I think anyone can do it. Nope. Because this is the home of the Holy King Trials. And I don't know if you have to be, like I was playing as Monica before, who is, a descendant of royalty, so it was easy to come here, but I don't know if anyone can come here. Hello. This is the test of royalties. Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, so I can't do this, right? Yeah, I would need Monica. Monica and Mikhail, I think, are two characters that you can't get unless you're playing as them, which is a little unfortunate. There are a couple of characters like that. I think Julian might be the same way. I'm not sure, though. Honestly, this music is kind of spooky for like a Holy King's sanctuary, isn't it? It sounds like a sanctuary, but it's like a little like mysterious and kind of spooky for some reason. Not really sure why that is. This is the test of hunters. Can you let me in? Nope, not ready to do it yet. Okay. Never mind. So the poet talked about it before, but there's like a whole collection of Holy King relics, or like just relics of the conflict that you can find in the game. Some of which are actually here, others are in different locations. Like the Devil King stuff is actually in the depths of Pedona, I think. And it's optional if you want to get them or not. They're good things to have. They're all useful weapons and armor, but they're not necessary. But it's like Final Fantasy V, we just saw that, the 12 sealed weapons. It's fun to have, like, special stuff. It's fun to get the special stuff. It exists. So we are at 2 hours. I have gotten myself lost for 2 hours and verbally barfed, or, verbal diarrhea on everybody. So let's finish it up by talking to Johannes the Astronomer, because he will give us a bit of plot. Oh, it's Ellen. I love her. She looks like Tara Branford, too. That's the other thing I like about her. She kind of looks like Tara. She's so cool. This is not. This is the Holy King's family. Hello.
This is the Holy King's family. The descendants of the Holy King have been living here for generations.
Okay.
There's a town called Justurm to the northeast.
Okay. So if we had gotten to Lance by some other means, we would have found out how to get to Justurm from that. Hello. Welcome to Lance, the city of the Holy King. I'm the elder of the Holy King family. Okay. Alright, nothing here yet. So I want to say later on, if you get the royal ring, you can bring it to them, but I don't remember for sure. There's like a lot of like things that you can do, or things that you can completely miss just because your HP was too high, so it's very easy to miss things in this game. It's very, very easy to miss things in this game. Ah, here we go. Hello.
Welcome. Brother is sleeping. You can talk to me instead.
Okay, who are you?
I'm Anna. I live with my brother, who is an astronomer.
Okay. Tell me about the Abyss Gate.
This is a long story. Is it okay?
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you about the Abyss Gates. There's Johannes. Hello, I thought you were sleeping. It is a fact that the Abyss Gate... I woke up. It is a fact that the Abyss Gate will open when the death eclipse approaches. My father made observations about the stars before the eclipse. When I compare the result after the eclipse, I find gaps forming between the stars. As seen in the ancient documents, the power of the gate can move the stars off their positions. The gap is small, as the power of the gate is still weak. But the abyss power that flows through the gate is causing chaos to this world. The Devil Lords in the abyss are probably trying to make the gate bigger. Thus, we must close the gates as soon as possible. According to legend, the location of the gates are as follows. Buna's gate is in Mount Tafton of Loan. Aunus's gate is in the jungle to the south. Fornius's gate is in the Western Ocean, and Arrakis' gate is in the Devil King Palace at Pedona. This is from my research on astrology and ancient scripts. So, it's, again, super easy to miss that. He tells you exactly where the 4 abyss gates are, and you know from the opening that the abyss gates are what you're trying to close. And I think this is a storage room. Okay, cool. Yeah. That's fine. I'm fine. I don't need to store anything right now, but I think the storage rooms are linked too, so you can either go to the one at Pedona or you can go to the one here. But yeah, if you just missed that, you don't know where you're supposed to be going. You're not supposed to be going at all. I gotta stop playing, I guess. Nuts. Alright, well, I guess in the next episode, or in the next stream that I do of this, we are planning to finish Donkey Kong 64, so don't worry, I haven't forgotten about it, but we will talk to the man in the room I just walked into, who will give us our first real mission. Well, not our first real mission, I guess. Our first real mission was to save Monica, which we succeeded at, and then, what do you call it? We saved Monica, and then we did the war thing, so we've done some missions, but it's another mission, so I hope you'll come back and join for that. Anyway, that's it for Romancing SaGa 3 for today. Again, this is probably going to be a series that I play in like parts, you know, in the sense of like, we might have to start a game in the middle of it just because this is a really, really unreasonably long game. But I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you come back to watch it some more. So, I am the MoeChicken. This has been Romancing SaGa 3, and thank you for stopping by.